With Il Est Francais, it's slightly different because I think he's perfectly suited to Kempton, and I think that's just his track. Now, we can pull apart that Cato start, and I think we'd all agree in hindsight. I know we lost the horses that were behind him, but that wasn't a great Cato star, and probably wasn't a great King George either. But I don't think Noel George was the problem. I think Il Est Francais is moody because the evidence I've got, I know he's bled and things, but if you just look at Il Est Francais, all of his best performances have come when he's got a freebie in front. Absolutely able to dominate, never sees another horse, gets into a rhythm, and because he's got such a high cruising speed, they're all out at the telly, they're struggling. In France, that worked brilliantly as a 4-year-old because all of these 4-year-olds were used to slowly run races. He goes out in front and he wins. Same thing happens at Kempton. But if you look at Kempton last year, I think we can sum it up in 2 furlongs. I laid Il Est Francais and I was sitting there thinking, I'm in real trouble. Turning for home off high, he's not stopping. We're in trouble here. But then just as Banbridge just starts to get there, you can see, and the only jumping mistake Il Est Francais made last year was at the last, when Banbridge was within a length. And I think he's got to be alone. If he hears another horse, he's in trouble. After that, I think they just lost their heads. At no point did anyone look at Il Est Francais in hindsight and go, you know what you need? The undulations at Cheltenham. They wouldn't have beaten Vaxfile anyway, but he's not. He's a flat track bully. You don't go there. And then afterwards, for whatever reason, they decided to run in a conditions hurdle, which they got away with because in France, your prize money is based on the code you earn the prize money in. So essentially, he could run in a hurdle race for the first time in 2 years with no weight. And then he got beat by Aston Martini in that listed hurdle. He was over the top by then. His brain had gone, and Compiègne didn't suit. Switching to Tom George might help because ultimately he's got to be cane-bound at Kempton. That's surely the only place to be aiming him at. And being in the UK, adjusting for the right season will help with that. But I don't think Noel George is the problem. I think the campaign is the problem. I just couldn't back him. I couldn't back him because I just think anything doesn't, I think he's that sort of, if it's perfect, he'll win. And I could certainly see him picking up a listed chase somewhere where he gets a freebie and just dominates. But I think a top class horse alongside him in a battle, his constitution won't stand up. And for that reason, I just think he's probably too risky to back because you'd have to get us off lead. And if he didn't, he wouldn't win.